Next we will see the dielectric laws and complex permittivity. We know that when we apply electric field on the dielectric, it will get polarized. At that time some energy is dissipated in the form of heat. This loss is known as dielectric loss. For DC supply, it is found from V is equal to IR, so the loss equal to I square R. But for AC, there is a phase difference. This is also already we have discussed. For a perfect dielectric, the dielectric will act as a capacitor. So in a capacitor, the current is leading with the voltage. It will be approximately 90-degree leading. But for practical, the dielectric has we will not be 90-degree phase difference. So there is some loss. The delta angle occurs. So here is the ID is the dissipation current, IC is the resistive current which is in phase with the voltage. I is the resultant current. So the current leads voltage by 90 minus delta angle. The delta is equal to 90 minus 5. So the dielectric loss equal to V into IC. IC is the resistive current. IC is equal to I cos phi. This is I cos phi. This is I sin phi. So VIC is equal to VI cos phi or ID tan delta. In this triangle, tan delta is equal to IC divided by ID. So IC is equal to ID tan delta. This is substituted. So tan delta is equal to IC by ID. IC is the voltage divided by resistance V by R. ID is equal to V by XC. XC is equal to 1 by C omega. So V into 2 pi FC. So which is equal to 1 by 2 pi FCR. This is omega CR. Omega CR is nothing but quality factor. So this tan delta is also known as loss factor or loss tangent. This is reciprocal of this quality factor. The tan delta is also known as dissipation factor. So now dielectric loss P is equal to V into IC or V ID tan delta. This ID is replaced by V into 2 pi FC, then tan delta. So multiplying this 2 pi FC V square tan delta. C is in general formula, C is equal to epsilon A by D. So multiplying and simplifying this, P is equal to 5.56 into 10 power minus 11 V square F epsilon R lambda tan delta, where lambda is A by D. From this we know that the dielectric loss depends on number 1 the applied voltage, number 2 frequency, number 3 permittivity, relative permittivity, number 4 angle, loss angle delta. So the epsilon R into tan delta is also known as dielectric loss index factor. So on the basis of dielectric loss, the materials can be divided into two types: low loss dielectric and high loss dielectric material. Next, complex permittivity. Just now we saw that the dielectric loss depends on the frequency also. Depends on the frequency. So it is. So the dielectric response generally depends on the frequency. This frequency dependent reflects that the polarization will not occur or change instantaneously when we apply field. The response can be represented by a phase difference. For this reason, the permittivity is often treated as a complex function of the angular frequency of the applied field. In EMT, you have studied Maxwell equations. In that, Ampere law in phasor form is del cross H j omega E epsilon. Del cross H j omega E epsilon. This is for source-free medium. If the medium is conducting one, then we have to add current density also. Current density J is equal to sigma E. So, del cross H equal to sigma E plus j omega E epsilon. Taking j omega E as common factor, within bracket epsilon plus sigma by j omega. This is called complex permittivity. So complex permittivity epsilon C is equal to sigma epsilon plus sigma by j omega. 1 by j is equal to minus j. So complex permittivity epsilon C is equal to epsilon minus j of sigma by omega. That is equal to epsilon dash minus j epsilon 2 dash. Epsilon dash is the real part, that is equal to epsilon. Epsilon 2 dash is the imaginary part, that is equal to sigma by omega. The imaginary parts accounts for damping also. So since the permittivity is complex one, the permittivity is written as epsilon of omega because it depends on the frequency. So the D flux density, field density D naught E power minus j omega t is equal to, generally D is equal to E epsilon. So E naught into epsilon of omega. Where D naught E naught is the amplitude of displacement and electric fields. At low frequency, this permittivity is known as static permittivity. At low frequency, the epsilon omega can be termed as static permittivity. Low frequencies means sometimes DC also. For DC, we know that the frequency is 0. So, limit omega tends to 0, the epsilon of omega is equal to epsilon S, static permittivity. For high frequency, that is optical frequency, this epsilon of omega is termed as epsilon infinity, where limit omega tends to infinity. That is at high frequency. So for moderate field strength, the D and E remain proportional. That is epsilon is equal to D by E naught. D naught by E naught. D by E. So this is equal to modulus epsilon and E naught into E naught E of e power minus I delta. For low frequency, this will become e power 0. So D naught by E naught equal to epsilon modulus only. So there will be a proportionate will occur. So D by D is proportional to E, where low frequency occur. If there is high frequency means phase difference will occur. So it will be complex. D by E is equal to epsilon e power minus I delta. This epsilon equal to epsilon dash of omega minus I epsilon 2 dash of omega. This is equal to D by E modulus into cos delta minus I sin delta. If the sin delta is positive means there is a loss occurring. If the sin delta is negative means there will be a gain occurring. Most generally, the imaginary parts of eigenvalues of anisotropic dielectric tensor should be considered. Okay.